Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. And as you can see, we are not enjoying ourselves today. This day is just terrible. And we get to be on the pickleball court and play and have some fun. So hope you guys are doing the same. First of all, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who sent messages. I will be completely honest, I have not been able to look through all of them, but I have looked through a lot, and once we figured out the ones that we are using, we'll make sure that you guys are in the run to get a brand new paddle. So yes, this beautiful Prince paddle. But anyways, again, thank you guys. This first one that we're going to be addressing is the fourth shot. A lot of times we don't talk about four shots, we only talk about the serve, the return, and the third shot and dinking and all of that. But the fourth shot is a very important shot, and it's one that especially when playing with players that are lower, tends to get them in trouble. They don't understand why they're getting burned so much, and there is something referred to the time when you want to keep your opponents back, but then there's the time that you just can't. So we're going to talk about that, and we'll play some points. But first things first. So one of the biggest things about being effective with the fourth shot is that you want to make sure that you return the serve and you run up to that line as fast as you can. You don't want to stop. You want to make sure that you get up there. So that way, if you can, you want to take that ball out of the air. But then if you can't, then you're going to have to make some adjustments. So the first one that we're going to do here, we're going to play the point out, and Becky and I were going to drive it. And when it comes to that, when it's looking at the fourth shot, a lot of the times, or most of the time, you want to hit that volley right back at the person that hit the drive. And the reason for that is simply because they might be still finishing up their stroke, or the other one, because again, I'm sure you heard a shake and bake. Sometimes if you go through the middle of the court, or if you go to the person that is the partner, they are going to be looking to poach. And that is, by the way, a really good time to poach. So especially if your partner has hit a really good drive. So what you want to do is actually avoid hitting that ball right to that person that is there sitting and waiting for that shot. So again, we'll demonstrate right here. And again, my partner is going to do a really good job returning, coming in, getting up to the line, and then we are going to get those volleys right back to them. Here you go. Ready? Oh, that was going out. So the biggest thing here is that, again, they're inside of the court. I want to try to get the ball to their feet as much as I can. Of course, I want to keep them on defense. So if I can, I'll be very aggressive with that shot. Sometimes you can't, so you just gotta make sure that you still take a little pace off and go to their feet. But let's do it one more time. Here you go. Nice. Okay, so again, the angle that the ball is coming from, to me, is kind of the most important thing. I'm not trying to change too much direction, and a lot of the times I think that's what people get, especially when people are driving at you. People get a little flustered, and they feel that they have to be cute in a way, try to drop shot, or try to angle that ball off differently than it came from, and that's when unforced errors happen. And for them, if I continue to make errors, they're going to continue to drive. I am no way I'm forcing them to dink. Now they're just going to be like, oh, if I drive, I'm going to get an error, or they're poaching all over the place. And then again, it makes it easier for them. So we're going to demo one here. The reason why you want to avoid the middle, especially when the drive is coming from the person straight ahead, and the partner, you can see Phil is going to be here looking to poach. So this is why I would want to avoid the middle. So here we go. Here we go.
Slow it down for me.
And that's why, because now he's looking for that poach. If I go right back, even like I don't have the angle to go cross court, and I go through the middle, Phil is going to be there. So I want to try to find Courtney as much as I can, especially because, again, she's the one hitting and moving. Phil already got a head start, so he's probably going to be at the line before Courtney is. So that is one of the biggest reasons why you want to avoid angling that ball off through the middle or cross court. Good? All right, so now what we're going to do is with a much more difficult shot is going to be an angle drop shot. So a cross court drop shot, what to do with that fourth shot. This I find that that's the one that people still try to put power on that ball, and that's when they get burned. So we'll show a bad example here first. So people go, oh, I'm gonna keep them back, and that's what happens. Because again, I can no longer keep them back. Once that ball is good like that, they are going to be coming in. So I no longer have control over what they do. So therefore, let's do it again. This is the best that is going to keep me and my partner protected. Okay, here we go.
You switch. You.
Ah! So one of the biggest things is, again, why do I want to hit that ball back cross court? There are many reasons, but one of the most important one of them is that the reason why I like to go cross court with that is because he hit a really good drop, pushed me off the court. Positioning wise, if I go back cross court, yes, I have to come back and protect middle. However, the ball is going to also travel the longest distance on the court. They are running in. They're not up yet, they're coming in, but that is going to allow us to get that time that we need. Plus, most likely, I am able to keep that ball nice and low, and that ball is probably going to I am putting a little bit of a slice, so it will stay below the net, which then protects my partner. So that's a big one, okay? The last one is on a medium ball. That's the one that a lot of players have issues with. So it's not a drive, but it's not a very, very good drop. So if it's a medium ball, most likely they are going to transition in. And that's when we gotta be aware that I don't want to invite them in. And I see that a lot where they're actually coming in. Let's do that one. So on this one, I'm almost like, oh, come in. So at this point, I could have, now they're both, like we are all in. I could have kept him mid-court, not necessarily all the way back, but I could have kept him mid-court and still on defense. But instead, I invited them in. Of course, you're telling me, well, I play with people that don't move up. Then again, that's a different level. The higher level you go, they are going to come up and they might get mid-court because again, that is not a shot that I can necessarily attack and put away, but I can still keep pressure, but they are closer. Nice, now he hit a fifth, now they're in. Ooh, nice. Ah.
Oh! You hit the mic. You might need to fix your hat after that one, Court.
And that's how you lose a member of the cast.
It's been fun.
Okay.
That's how you lose
Well,
an
it's
employee.
okay. It's a pretty soft ball. It's hot here. You okay?
I'm fine.
Anyways, wow. But with that, sorry, that was horrible. Thank you for coming.
Happy to be here.
Wow. I think one of the biggest things when it comes to the fourth shot is that there's nothing set in stone as far as what's the best shot. It is adapting to the third. So like I said, at the third shot drive, you want to then punch that volley back to the person that hit it most of the time. Okay, there are times, I'll explain actually one. Let's do one more time. If let's say, Courtney drives the ball cross court. That's the one. So, and now Becky's coming in. The natural path of her ball is actually to fill. Because if she takes a backhand, she can pull that shot across her body and go to fill. because the ball is also now gonna get to feel faster. So let's show that one. We don't like those black shirts.
Okay.
There you go. Nice.
Now I'm scared.
So the one thing, it happens. But this is the part where the reason for it is because we're not fighting angles. Because if that ball comes diagonally into Becky's body, by trying to go back cross court, she's actually having to turn her arms on the opposite direction that is natural to all of us. So going actually just pulling that ball across her body is the most natural. The other part about it is that it takes time away from Phil because he is the one closest to her. Does that make sense? I hope so. With the drop shot, okay? A lot of the times we try to pull the trigger off of a pretty good drop shot. You can no longer keep your opponents back. And again, I hear that a lot. Oh, my opponents stay back. Then again, lower level players, I know that happens a lot, but the better you get, that should not happen. They are going to be coming up on a good shot, and therefore you can no longer keep them back. So now you are going to have to be willing to dink, but you don't have to feed it to them. You can still angle that ball off and put some slice on it and make that ball run away from them. Now, again, there are times that you may need to go down the line. And when I go down the line, a lot of the times is if that ball runs away from me. So if, let's say, okay, and we'll go back to that one more time. So if that ball gets away from me, I might go there. I'm still going into the kitchen, but I might go down the line because if I try to pull that cross court, most likely I'll pop it up, and who's gonna pay for it? Not me, but Becky, okay? So again, I want to keep my partner not just safe, but I want her to feel confident that I'm executing good shots so that way she stays at the line. Oftentimes when we play with lower level players, when somebody hits a drop shot, what do you think that my first instinct is to do if I'm this person here? I back up. The reason why I back up is because I am predicting the future. And the future does not look good for me. Because they go back, they swing, they're up, and now who's getting hammered? Is me. So when I back up, that's why I do it oftentimes in rec play, because the fact that I know I'm paying for it, okay? Now, the one that is the medium one, the medium ball, the biggest thing on this is to apply pressure. One, you don't want to overhit the ball, but two, is that you want to make sure that you are still going to their feet because they're gonna be inside of the court, or they should be inside of the court. And sometimes you might be able to hit away from them, but you definitely do not want to make unforced errors on these shots. So really quickly, we're gonna go through it. So Phil, what you think is the most common mistake that you see when it comes to fourth shots?
With the fourth shot, I see players, if it's a good third shot, the players don't respect the positioning of their opponents. Their opponents are able to move forward, but they're hitting the fourth shot as if the opponents are at the baseline. And then that's a high ball for the opponents coming in when they're on offense.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of players too. The opposite respect is not really respecting the net. So, thinking of that as their number one opponent. So they're trying to play it, too sharp to the net. So get that margin.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like that they're using the word respect, because we think about the servers are now trying to earn their way up, okay? They don't hit a great shot and we can keep them back and we decide to let them in. We kind of they didn't earn their way up. We let them in, okay? But on the opposite side, what Phil's saying is that if they do hit a good shot, there's just a fact of the matter. Some people will hit a good shot that they did earn their way mostly up, and we have to respect that. Just like Simone keeps saying, there are gonna be times that we cannot keep someone back when they're already up.
Okay. And then I think the last one is inviting people in, because of the opposite of that is that now you become super safe, and when they hit a so-so shot, and now you're so careful that you just dink it, and then especially if they are good, like have good ground strokes, you're probably going to get hit because of the fact that if they're too comfortable positioning, mid-court and you go short, if you get that ball just a little high, they are not gonna dink it. Just because you want to dink it doesn't mean that they will. They most likely are gonna come up. If they have time, boom, they're gonna pull the trigger. So again, keep the pressure, but know that if they hit a really good shot, you're going to have to then slow it down and dink it. So thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoy it and I hope it helps you.